Sana. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where you can get to watch more powerful and impactful videos. Also join us on the comment section, on the chat section. Chat us up. Tell us what you think about the topics of the day. What insights do you have about the topics of the day? What's your favorite meme for the day? And let's have an amazing time. So let's get into today's episode.
Welcome to Firebrand Nation News. It's been a minute. Last week, we had an issue kidogo with a media station, but we are back. We're excited to have you back. And I'm more excited because I have one lady who I've not seen for almost 5 months. It's like, I don't know, it's been such a while. MP wanini anitangaje? Ule cabinet secretary amesimamia education?
Sosion.
Ngoja you guys. MP education. See, cabinet secretary. Mago? Sorry.
Pardon.
Sorry. We had to break the silence. Sijui kwa nini mnakani kama Sosion.
Well, ni memorable kwa sababu ya the conditions zenye zimepita in regards to sosion. Miss him Kenya.
Clearly.
Miss him Kenya.
We're moving on swiftly. So Magoha alikupenda more. Yes. But it's been such a while. I'm really excited to have you. Let's just jump straight to introducing yourselves. Introduce yourself.
So the CS of education.
And the education.
We are tight. So I've been away for like 6 months.
Great.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It has.
So my name is Betty Muzarika, Firebrand Bomb, Firebrand Betty Muzarika. I am back, like I never left. Like, yes, I'm excited to be here, where we talk about cultural issues, giving biblical solutions.
Awesome.
Yes.
Firebrand Antonia.
Well, if I may, okay, I am Antonia Ngaiwa. I am Firebrand Antonia as well. Yeah, let's introduce the left. So funny.
It is very important.
Okay, I am a learner of the School of Life. I am I have an excitement towards counseling psychology, and yeah. And very many things that I do. Well, that's me.
If I was your African mom and you say you have an excitement, and I paid your school fees, and you have an excitement.
Anaweza kuwa lucky. She might as well count herself blessed and lucky that I am enthusiastic about something
If I was a mom, I'd just
studied
like,
in school.
What do you mean you're excited? You know how much I paid for yourself. What do you mean you're excited? Just to be, you better be like, I am a counseling psychologist. Yeah, moving forward. Firebrand Joshua.
Firebrand Joshua Joe is my name, and I am excited to do what? Whatever I do, I'm excited to do.
God bless.
Even talking right now, I'm so excited.
Wow, must be nice, huh?
But there's a lot that I do. There's a lot that I'm excited doing. To get this and more, kindly join me on Facebook at Joshua Joe, Instagram Joshua Joe, and YouTube Joshua Joe. You'll get to know more about me, what I do, what I'm excited about doing, my shoe size, my best attires, colors, favorite meals, such things. Just Joshua Joe on all social media platforms, and you get all this content. Imagine, for free.
10 years later, bado tunangoja umalize kujiintroduce.
It's the audacity for me.
Ulibeba kwa bag ukitoka ndani.
What do we call a city that starts with an O?
Audacity.
Exactly. The audacity. He's excited.
I think that's what happens when you work with. Okay, let me not do that. Once you get comment, like, and share on all the social media platforms at JBN Television, Firebrand Nation, and Firebrand Nation Kenya on Facebook. To my best section, let's hit the meme section.
Yes.
Na sasa ni wakati wa
Firebrand bomb. Since Firebrand bomb.
Fanya maneno, sio?
MP education alimpenda sana. So she
Wacha nianze meme ya kwanza.
Anza.
Meme ya kwanza wale wa bebe. Bebe. Unaniacha na venye tumetoka mbali. Then me. Tumefika.
Gosh.
Yes, we are here.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Anyway, kilicho na mwanzo la
Yes,
You got
yes, tumefika.
You got it.
Tumefika.
Ati na venye tumetoka mbali.
Hii ni wisdom. In fact, hakufai kukuwa na love hearts ziko broken up. Nafaa kuwa ile heart yenye ina grow kadogo.
alafu ile kubwa.
Yes.
Like tumetoka mbali. Tumefika.
Audacity.
That's a nice one.
Audacity.
Mwapatia mistari manze.
Za kutoka mtu?
Inaitwa kutoka mtu polite.
But hapa I think mtu hawezi sikia vibaya.
Hawezi sikia vibaya. How?
Hiyo huwezi sikia vibaya. Hiyo huwezi sikia vibaya. Hata ukisikia vibaya utakuwa na shida.
Tumefika, si tumefika.
We are here now.
Tumefika.
Lakini umenitoka.
Siyo season is over.
Wewe ulikuwa una expect journey iendelee.
Si mmetoka mbali.
Season imeisha. Okay, moving on swiftly to the next one. Why? Okay, this one I will address the young man seated
Young.
amongst us.
Lakini tuko na mabrother wawili. Anyway, let me know.
Bravo.
Why are men's clothes so expensive? Tuambie.
Soma mimi.
Sio ndo brother tujibu.
Bravo.
Allah.
Malizia wewe.
Kwa hiyo wakanika kuna vipengele hizi tukatokea.
Alafu tukishamaliza kwa like now we are back.
We will be right back after the break.
Ati juu tunaweza vaa kaki moja kila siku job na bado tuende nayo rorasho yako sato.
Lakini ni kweli.
But where is the lie?
Multi-purpose.
Where is the lie?
That's why they are so expensive. But then ni kweli.
Ndio mtubebe uchafu wiki mzima.
Mpaka Saturday mpaka kwa donation.
Mpaka kwa donation.
The audacity.
Si ni hivyo tu unavaa nini? Mwanaume ukiona mwanaume anabadilisha trouser kila siku, ati akivaa mara moja anafua, huyo ako na umama.
Najua tuwezi ongea since sisi wanaume sana.
Lakini ni kweli.
Atuelewi,
kuna wale mademu wenye ni mabrother pia. We are not pointing fingers. Lakini tuna mention names. Anyway, before we mention the names, wanajijua. Kuna wale mademu ni mabrother. Na wanafanyanga kama hivyo tu. Anavaa jeans mara ngapi? Tuambie.
Mimi sijui nani.
To move on swiftly.
Mimi sijui ni nani.
But ni ukweli. Kila siku job trao na rurashio bado saa tu. Ni hivyo tu. Kwa nini ushinde ukifuafua?
What happened to cleanliness? Moving on swiftly.
Usafi ni ya mwili si nguo.
Yes. Next one.
When you sit on the back seat of a bus on Kenyan roads.
Where? Telling you from Nakuru to LD. Hallelujah. Ile mrusho iko hapo.
Roads zenyu zijatengenezwa.
No, like ni bumps za ukweli. Like ni bumps, si potholes or anything.
Ni zile bumps kubwa.
Hata si zo kubwa, ni zile bumps za
Ama zile ndogo zile.
Unakaa kote jumekula lunch na access stop over. Unakuta sikia.
Organs zako zote zinakuwa.
Kuna bumps zingine ziko hapa Isili. Bumps kubwa. Unarushanga unafika kwa konda, unapiga breki unarudi tena nyuma.
Kwanza kama umepanda nganya umekaa kwa ile siti huko
Sasa
mwisho
ndio hiyo.
kwa ile hole.
Hapo.
Unaweza toka tu kimbie urudi ala.
Mimi nakwambia kwanza leo niliapen kupanda hiyo. Huko nyuma langu hapo mahali unasema. Kwa nimekaa hapo. Mazee nilikuwa naenda kama wheel.
All right. What's in the freezer? Madam, what's in the freezer? Nairobi. Toka deep freezer.
At least leo kuna jua though.
Lakini baridi mseni ngoni.
Na July ijaanza.
But no, me, I like what's happening. Because for a while hakuja kuwa na good weather. Like, the past years will correct me if I'm wrong, kama niliobserve vitu zangu. July inafika, jua imewaka. Ama January inafika, mvua inanyesha. But for once I feel like the same.
Unafeel tuko sawa.
Tulikuwa tunaletewa swali ya social studies, the coldest month.
At least sahi una relate.
Imagine wasewa 2018, 2019 going back. Walikuwa wanajibu swali aje. Because July was never cold. But at least now we feel like July is approaching. It's good.
I kind of miss the inconsistency, especially this year has been the best.
Yeah.
Since January. Yeah, because January kumekuwa kinyesha, so it's been really nice. Lakini July manze imeanza June.
It's good.
It's like mid June.
The only thing ilikuwa ina miss ni the rain. As in kutakuwa je na baridi na vumbi.
Oh yeah.
As blend.
Na vumbi.
Aziendanishi.
Ziko hivi.
Azipelekani. Inafaa kunyesha kidogo.
Manze.
Let's move to the next meme. Me seeing another Naivasha meme for like the 100th time.
That's facts. Like,
But they were lit, yo. Those memes are lit.
Nakwambia Vasha imetrend for the last 3 days or 4 days.
Well, actually kulikuwa na post Vasha niliweka kwa status yangu leo asubuhi. Post Vasha meme.
Maze watu wa design watu viatu za Vasha. Ndio. Ila trend mbaya.
They could have thought like Naivasha ita trend that much.
But it has been even tu sasa WRC ndio ime overtrendisha, but Vasha na Subaru zimekuwa tu hivi.
Kuna experience.
Tuna experience ya memes.
Alright.
Mimical experience.
Ile Vasha ya physical sisi tumeenda ni prayer center.
Win Souls Vasha.
Promoting.
Hiyo tu ndio Vasha tunaweza really.
Lakini manze hii weekend je imekuwa ngori.
Mzee. Lakini kandi mwili moka pia Vasha.
Yeah.
Kama ndimu iliyomoka Vasha.
Kama nyanya na apples zilikuwa zinacheza same WhatsApp group.
Ilifika point kuna ndimu anasema zi.
Yaani
ile 50 bob.
Chumbo kuliko ndimu.
Mzee, ile 50 bob. All my life that never happened.
Niko na kabonus kamim. Hii many bless. I'll just have to. What is Kenya really turning to? When you think about that question, what is Kenya really turning to? Nimenunua mahindi na mwenye amenuzia ananibembeleza nimkatie kadogo.
Gosh.
Hiyo ni bless. Hiyo ni jenga.
Lakini hiyo ni ukweli. Unajua ule mtu wa mahindi pia anaweza kuwa ameandikwa job. Na zimehesabiwa. Zimehesabiwa bana.
Ni kama ukienda kwa hizo spots za Altona, Memphis, Nevada. Alafu wase wana clean.
Kwanza the worst part ni wana order, yani unaona tu venye wanaleta hizo orders according venye watu wanaitisha.
Right.
Alafu yeye unaona ameenda hapo kando kula githeri manze. Manze ni frustrating.
Alibeba kutoka home.
All restaurant owners manze.
But then there are other different restaurants kama Lazarus, because kama if you take soup, at least like you eat the same food. But it depends, but understand your story. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But let's not make the meme very serious.
Let's
do one last meme, then we get to the discussion of the day.
All right. This one is a good one. Angel, I can't find your name in the book of life. Reply as a Kenyan. So whatever comment section, Mama sema ati nimeletwa na Moses bana. Amjaongea.
Wachani mcall.
Kati story yako.
By the way, that mimi naona Kenya wazee wataingia heaven wote. Yaani utakuwa unasikia niaje?
Niliongelesha.
Nimebonga hapo na Solomon msema wisdom mwambie.
Tell me
Ama nimekam na mse mwenye anajua Solomon. Niko na yeye. Tumekam na yeye.
Amesimama na Angel hapo nje unasiacha ni mcall.
Audacity.
Sasa Moses shika simu bana.
Ni ile mnaendanga events alafu mse mwenye yeye anafaingia free ako ndani. Niko na nani?
Nani manze? Niko na tumekuja hapa. Acha kushow tumekuja hapa na yeye.
Acha ni mcall.
Na Angel Gabriel pale.
Hapo mtu akaanza kuchukua simu. That's how you know they're also Kenyans.
Sasa yeye pia ameenda sijui simu iko silent. Hapa akamwambia sasa simu ilikuwa silent sasa unarudi huko.
Wow, waki nilipata phone call. Kenyans for you.
Kenyans, please. Hapo heaven, make sure Abraham na Moses na Solomon wameshika simu. Unajua siposhika simu mtarudi earth manze. Ama mtaenda hell.
At least mtry hata Paul. At least Paul ako New Testament. Kuna nini wa Old Testament?
Labda watry nani? Watry wale wa Leviticus wako na matablet yani unajua. Lakini Moses ndio ako na tablet. Moses ako na please Kenyans ukifika heaven don't call any other number, please call Moses.
Gosh.
So let's get to the first discussion of the day. Of course, lazima tuanze na Basha. Like it's been trending, if I'm not wrong, for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I never knew Subaru. I know Subaru is a cook. I know it does safari rallies. Like in this year, like this month, Subaru has been legit. Like kidogo Subaru boys. Alafu akijika mnasema journey Alban. I can explain. Checklist. Checklist. You have to have 10 inches long hair. Ukikosa unava lashes ukienda kugonga.
Standards.
Ati paka tunasikia watu wamekosa room sasa ni kwenda kuulizia store.
What?
Ukifika Naivasha hakuna kuulizia rooms anymore. Ni kuuliza tu kuna ka stock amebaki. Kwa ndio sasa unaweza hiyo tu unaweza pata.
But I feel like in as much as it was tagged Sin City, ili spoiler saying they were genuinely going there for the ride.
Yeah, people like us.
19 years of waiting.
Are you speaking through your
people like us, we were genuinely going there.
19 years of waiting for this rally.
Yeah.
You are genuinely going there for that thrill to see history being remade, you know, like
Imagine.
Alafu #Subaru #Subaru boys yani wakaribia watu mpaka unaenda kwa group. Yeah, you going to your group. Unaona mkuu amesema let me not see you.
Tujaji majina.
Usiuze Subaru kama ikienda sana unataka kuguza Subaru afadhali useme Food Subaru ama something yani
Food
Subaru ama
Wenda na Legas.
But honestly I feel like we have people who are going there for the rally purely.
True.
Yeah. Kuna watu wametuharibia jina sana.
So imagine how many other good things will come up alafu sa Kenyans vetu unajua si wakibu.
It's just like rugby sevens.
Yeah.
Hadi it was banned.
But it's a thing that I don't know. I think it's a thing that Kenyans, not just Kenyans, it's a thing that the millennials going to Generation Z, they have a way of overdoing. They have to overdo. Even terms are over. There are terms we can't use anymore. They're overdone. Subaru was overdone.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's an issue that has been happening.
Wakenya wanapenda sherehe.
Wanapenda kupiga sherehe. Lakini some of us we really went there to enjoy the rally.
If you don't have photos, you weren't there.
Shida ni hatuwezi tuma picha.
Sababu
ukituma picha utakuwa
How many souls did you win? How many souls did you have?
Yeah, so we
Kwenye tent.
went there. We enjoyed seeing the rally and all those things that we saw when we were. Some of us were very young and some of us were not even born.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed seeing them. Yani hiyo tu vumbi venye kwanza inapanda juu. And then just actually seeing the drivers, the way they drive. Yani sasa wacha kuona kwa TV. Kuona tu hiyo physically yani ilikuwa na
something
Hii audacity inanikill.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Mimi na wish ningekuwa na wewe.
No, but I'm not saying this so that you condemn me. Nasema tu venye mimi niliona. Yeah. Vitu zilikuwa zimeweza. And then
Ni sawa.
anyway. And then another thing pia biashara ilikuwa poa.
Facts.
Yeah.
Tourism.
Iliweza pia. Yeah. But pia kulikuwa na another side ya jam. Ileta jam mbaya.
But at
Tulikaa kwa barabara sijui for how long.
Okay.
That was
In 24 hours mlikaa kwa barabara 18 hours. So
Imagine.
hizo 6 hours peke yake ndio mliget za kufanya anything that was not staying on the roads.
So I want to be different and look at all this positively. Traffic yenye ilikuwa, at least we appreciated the vehicles that people have and the nature, the clean air, kiwa hiyo route ya Limuru Naivasha. And also like the fact that there's a pandemic, we can have an international event in our land, our motherland. And hiyo ni kitu poa sana. And of course the billions that came into
Yikes.
you know, money that came into this country.
That's important. That's the most important part. Money.
But let me pick on her point. No, that exactly is my problem, which is fine. Money is cool. But how is Kisumu's numbers rising? Because you actually noticed the same day we were reporting about Vasha. That's the same time there was a press statement that the numbers have gone by 10.1% percentile. So, what is the correlation? Because hapo chini wameandika the counties are the numbers na zimepanda na ngapi, but Naivasha iko.
Yeah.
So it's like there's one thing I don't usually understand, and I know probably all governments have it, but ushauri na government mnachapa na wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Like side moja you're making money, but the same government is like wakwangi on the same road. It's like having two wives.
Yeah. What you're saying is my take is we have our government.
Yeah.
This
And
is one doing one to three things.
sisters.
And now we have the people who are in the government doing 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Who
And
is
two
sports
things.
minister?
Who is?
The sports minister.
Sports minister.
Isn't it Amina? I'm not
No,
sure.
that's foreign.
No, she moved from foreign affairs. She did.
She-
She's on
she
who does
came
sports
back.
at the moment. She went back.
I think.
Oh, for
I
rally?
think she's
No, she
She left.
She's on. I don't think she left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawezi sikizana na Mutai. That's why we have the two yeah.
Yeah, so how are the numbers? And according to news, they said 10,000. We have over 10,000 people who went to, and that's just like people
Yeah.
from outside who
And
went to Naivasha. No
yeah.
social distancing whatsoever. And to just be very Christianese. And in church, we still have social distancing. So I don't get it. It's like we have step-brothers and step-sisters inside the government.
I
Isn't
think
that
I
how
would
we
say
see?
that it's beyond government at this point, because in as much as cases are rising in Western region and the curfew has been put and all that is happening, it gets back to you as an individual, what you are doing. And I would say let the church continue having those rules. Because I would rather we continue having those rules and then God forbid someone gets infected, other than we do not have those rules and then someone gets infected. We will never hear the end of it all. And we'll
Or as a
rather not.
church.
Yes, we'll rather not do something that will cause a brother to stumble. Kama kanisa inafanya, you understand? But personally, those point to Vasha or wherever, najua Vasha is because ilikuwa na hype. But the other activities that are happening that we did not know of, I will just say as an individual, you take those precautions. I keep saying, kuva mask peke. So I hear people say, oh, I hate those masks, so etc. But if it has been accepted worldwide as part of the precautions to curbing the spread of the virus, then just put it on. There's a reason why it's accepted worldwide. It's because it actually works to some level. So me, I would say wash your hands, sanitize, put on your mask, social distance, because ujisikia yako ikifika. Unaweza kuwa ukicheza and then ikikupata tu hivi hakuna kurecover. So it's annoying. It's annoying, to be very, very frank, that gava inacheza vile inajisikia. Siko bad, but I feel my opinion, I feel like wakitaka kitu Iran hivi itaran with or without COVID.
Definitely.
Like
but I think it's not just the Kenyan government, because we've had, the world must go back to normal.
Yeah.
And the only way, like, the government still had some precautions. Like, the government had said in every gathering there shouldn't be more than 20 people. There were such measures. Only that people did not adhere to the measures. Of course, the excitement, people could not put on their masks and still, you want to cheer up, shout. And this thing is like 19 years you've not seen. Then you're told to put on your mask. I mean, you're like, watch mbaya, you get. But also, I've seen even in the, like right now there is the Euro tournaments. And the fans are back to the stadiums. And most of them, they're not even putting on their masks. But the federation has regulated the number of people who maybe should be in the stadium. But still, the numbers are high. So like a stadium that carries, let's say, 100,000, you can find people, like let's say an estimate of 15,000 people. That's still a high number. And they are not putting on their masks, you get. So I think the world is just trying to move on with life, because as much as we have the pandemic, life has to move on. Sports have to take place. Just the same way people go to work, and politics have to still take place, you get. So I think it's a bit hard to now shut everything again and begin from zero. So the government have to start from somewhere. So my only concern is we will gather like this weekend, and then 1 week later
they shut
the
things
numbers,
down.
the numbers will rise. Then now we begin locking the counties. That's my only concern.
I hear, but I feel like we move blindly. You see, today I'm using our parents. I love them. In the sense that when you're between the teenagers, nisikuone na kijana, and then you get to 20s and then like unaolewa lini. So I usually feel like our government does more or less that way. You guys are but we agreed like the economy really needed a boost, because COVID has really hit not just Kenyan economy, but in this case really needed a boost. But there's usually a means to an end. But in this case, it's like, don't do this, do this. But then at the end of the day, they correlate. So I usually feel at the end of the day, it becomes futile.
Yeah.
Because yes, we'll get the
It's a
economy,
push and pull.
and then yes, we'll get the economy will go up, but then again we get the COVID rising up, and then again that's the same money that is going to go to healthcare. So it's usually a means without an end.
It's like we are stagnating. Exactly, it's a cycle. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yes, we had the money, but then will this money be used to cater for these people's medical attention?
Yeah, the purpose for the economy going up is not to like take it back to the healthcare.
Exactly.
Miss Antonio, you're really quiet. What do you think?
I've just been thinking, when Kisumu, it's only Kisumu that's been...
the numbers, they mentioned a couple of counties.
Yeah.
But it's the one that the limelight is
Kisumu, those
Okay,
areas.
the Western Nyanza region, right? I think this is my opinion. The government is trying to make they're trying to be relevant in making those counties, as in having the time limit for them being out.
Curfew.
Yeah, the curfew. And Awataki, they don't want it to seem that probably the money that has been loaned iko relaxed. Like, this is just me
I didn't see
thinking
that coming.
that the money that has been loaned is just somewhere sitting, and
So it has to work. They
there
have to make it move.
is. And when it comes to Vasha, yes, they would have put limits and all those things. Because I remember there was a time Sauti Sol were to have a concert, an outdoor thing. People had bought tickets and all those things, but they had to cancel the day off kwa sababu the numbers. They could not allow people to gather because of the numbers and all those things. But then again, here is Vasha. We need an economic boost and all those things, which is really required. But we are yet to hear the numbers, maybe, because it's something yenye imeisha la asubuhi, I think. And then most people, they're not people who attended the rally were not people from Naivasha. I would like to guess that.
Definitely.
There are people majorly from Nairobi and other counties. So when it comes to now the numbers, it has maybe to come after. But yes, I agree. We are going round in circles, and I think something has to give. Something has to compromise somewhere for us to now become fully functional. It's either there have been, I think, a number of pandemics before us, and then ikafika point, okay, iko, but we still move on.
Yeah.
Probably we have to get to that point venye Firebrand Bomb amesema, we now take it individually. It's me to put on a mask, it's me to sanitize, it's me to wash my hands, regardless of where I am. Because I've seen, aside from Vasha, I see people sharing bottles of nini pamoja.
Water.
No, the kinywaji kali, alcohol.
Okay.
People will take, and like to get in the same bottle, using the same thing. So
They say alcohol ikona.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Besides,
Anyway.
alcohol.
But yeah, we are kind of going in circles, and somehow I think somewhere something has to give. It's either that we learn to live with the pandemic and now have to boost our economy one way or another, and we take it upon ourselves as individuals to protect ourselves.
So it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But then what happens to us being Christians having to be your brother's keeper? I know there's usually a thin line, but what happens to us as Christians having to be each other's brother's keepers?
Sijui mbona na feel kusema #faith life. Everything that is done without faith is sin.
Love God, love others
I'm also
passionately.
right,
But faith and action. So you have faith that you will not get this virus, but your
my God.
action is
Towards the virus.
no. Your action
on a
is
mask.
you're not tempting God, senor. So your action is you actually follow those guidelines. You have faith, yes, but you're following those guidelines. That is your action. Because wezienda tu hivyo openly ati God akona mimi. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Yeah, for me, I think it's just to echo what Bom said earlier, the personal precautions, like knowing that I not only am I protecting myself, but also taking care of the other people. So you put on that mask, you sanitize, wash your hands, and you can also take the jab. I mean, the vaccines are free, so you can go take. To those who believe that they are, we have different opinions on the same.
Kuwafeneka. You can be aquafenicated.
Exactly. But yeah, you can go get vaccinated, and then because you see, as we are all saying, we will still go in circles because after a while, the numbers will rise, and the government will have no option but to lock Nairobi again, or lock Naivasha, or say now we are opening Kisumu and we are relocking.
Yeah.
You see, and it's not a good thing because it is the same government that has allowed all this to happen. So I think the church needs to put the government to task. Yeah, just put the government to task. Tell them let them know that whatever they are doing, we also as a church, we will not suffer because of what they did.
Yeah.
You know? So I think somebody somewhere need to raise their voice and just let it be known we're not against any games and functions. We as a church are not against that. But all we're saying is, if we are talking about taking precautions, let's not have double standards.
Yeah,
if it's a political rally, let them, number one, we're not telling them not to have rallies. Let them have them. But can they, before that aspirant gets the mic to talk to people, can they first say, everyone put on your mask? You know, everyone make sure once you come out of this place, can you go and sanitize? You know those things.
Yeah.
You're also reminding Kenyans, because if you yourself don't have a mask and you're not even advocating, maybe even if you're talking and you're holding your mask, but you're still pleading with people and asking them to keep social distance, to wash their hands, all those precautions, you get?
I think to add to what you're saying is, we're told to love our neighbors as we love ourselves.
Definitely.
So in as much as it might, because change is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, but it is inevitable. So we were used to living without masks, now we have to do masks. I bring in the aspect of love because you're speaking with other people, you're mingling with other people, yes, but you forget that covering yourself because you know you are COVID-19 negative, you forget that someone else might have the virus and it might get to you. So you love yourself enough to actually take that individual responsibility to follow those guidelines as you love your neighbor by putting on your mask in case you are infected as well. And then talking about Dumbo, flavor of my origin. About double standards, as Joshua Joe has said, is I will have a problem when we call for a crusade and the masses are to attend that crusade, and then we are told, oh, you cannot have this crusade, then that will be a problem. But in terms of the lockdown, the curfew, I think we need to get out of that. Like clearly, honestly, we need to move past it. Because like going around in cycles, this happens, lockdown. We recover, someone puts up their business, starts to pick up, lockdown. You go back to zero. How are we even helping our economy at that other point? And again, as Christians, I need to encourage each one of us to keep on trusting in God, to keep on praying, to not be fearful. But as we are in the Faith Life series, we move in faith, we not fear, and we keep on believing that God, as He orders our steps, because He orders our steps, His will be done. He allowed this virus to come. He's still ordering our steps. So we keep on anchoring our faith in Him that He will show us the way out. Because maybe, could be this is the new normal. I was just talking with Tonya yesterday and I was telling her, I think it was Tonya. I was telling her, okay, Skumbuke, but I think it was you. I was telling someone, I don't know if when our children, the generation that's coming after us come up, we'll be like, in the year 2020, was it you? Oh, good. In the year 2020, we had Corona and this and this and this, or we have to bring them up in this era. So I think we just keep on trusting in God, keep on believing in His word, and that way we'll know what to do next.
Awesome. So as we bring the discussion to a close, I'll pick up Bom's wise sayings, especially on faith. What would be your solution? Because at the end of the day, you always have to give biblical solutions. So what would be a solution, Tonya? Especially because for me, I'm really frustrated because and it's not just, apart from being a Christian, because at least being a Christian, you always have a way out, which is having faith in God. But in the sense that you see what is happening, and what's really frustrating me is the same people who are supposed to protect us are the same people who usually joke with our life. So there's one time, guys, we are going on lockdown because this and this will kill you. And then the second time, they just release for 10,000 people to enjoy, which I have nothing against if I really, but the actions usually frustrate me quite a bit. Because they still put us in the lion's den themselves, and they're supposed to work for the betterment of us as Kenyans. So what would be your advice?
aside from individual precaution, it's very interesting, for lack of a better word, that as Christians we are not immune to the laws of the land. Actually, the Bible advocates us to respect and kind of obey the people in rulership, people in leadership. So we have to move by their decided laws, decided guidelines. And when it comes to now, since we have to kind of adhere to the rules, to the laws, I think there needs to be a change. When you're a leader, I keep on asking myself, as a leader, don't you really want to leave a legacy? A legacy of there was this pandemic, and as my leadership and with the people working with me, we did this and this. So coming up with workable solutions. The country has to move on. We have to go up, lazima to beat the losses we've encountered during the pandemic, and wise solutions to these problems. Hizo ndio zitatu boost as citizens, as individuals. Yes, as a Christian, yes, I will pray, I will trust that I won't lack. But then again, when it comes to action, loving your neighbor, like Firebrand Bomb said, you have to put on your mask, you have to, because the economy is a cycle. Because I'm talking about the economy because this is the most crucial thing, I think, worldwide. We need to survive, and economy is our means of survival. And if the economy is not doing well, that is where the government now inacheza nini na sisi. And for that to happen, we need to find solutions. These solutions, they're not hard to get. But they're there. There are those wise solutions to focus on, for the economy to be boosted, and for us as citizens to also move on freely, not really freely, but kind of mold ourselves into now the new normal. Speaking of, Uli, when you mentioned sports and people now being inside the stadiums, these are people who walipata the first dose of the vaccines and now the second. And they say, according to the doctors, that people who have been vaccinated, they can be able to be together in the same environment. And that is possible. And when you look at the countries abroad, most people have been vaccinated. And now for them to be able to be in an environment and they do not have masks on, and I'm not sure about the numbers, but the government to allow them to be in a certain situations, having no masks on, it means that something is working. Something is working somewhere. And these are the things that we should have followed, the government should have followed. I was talking about aquafenica, and it was an issue that someone would think that they could have been vaccinated na maji. So how do we even trust the government?
Right.
So we need to find people who are actually forward thinkers, people who, even as we look forward to 2022, okay, you can vote for me. We need to look for leaders who are serious about the people.
Yes.
They're forward thinkers, contingency plan people. Yeah, that's awesome. What I would say.
Joshua? Especially to people who are feeling beat down, because I'm sure that people who are really struggling emotionally.
Because of the pandemic?
Yes. And once you go to open, as Firebrand said, your business picks up, and then immediately something happens.
Something happens. I think it's sad, first, especially for someone who has been down and their business may be shut and they had to take a loan from the bank to just go reboost their business. And then now you're not sure if the numbers will rise again and the country has to be locked again. So it's a bit sad. And for me, I don't know what to say, especially at that point, because we don't make decisions for the government. But at this point, the only thing, I'm really at a point where I feel the citizens being neglected, and nobody cares about them, because even for such, maybe when you're planning either a rally or a sports event, just taking care of the people, taking care of the citizens, even for the fact that let's say like you've taken people from other counties, as Tonya was saying, and you've taken them to Naivasha, so just endangering the lives of the locals alone,
Right.
because it means their business will shut after a while, you know. So I think we're not saying all these things should not happen, as I said earlier, but can we have that sensitization more? You see, for example, I saw Vasha trending for 3 days or 4 days this weekend, the whole of this weekend, but maybe we could have seen like the government coming in and maybe saying, we know this is what is happening, you know, but as a government, this is what we are advocating for. When you go to Naivasha, we expect you to put on your mask. You see all those things. I think that's where now the government comes in, if they really care for that common citizen. Otherwise, it's sad, because there is nothing we can do, because there are specific people who run the government and they decide what to do at what time. So for me, for common wananchi, is just be positive and have some hope, and just believe this pandemic will also come to pass. And thank God the vaccines are coming in. And before you get vaccinated, because ziko kidogo, let's continue taking the measures, na tusisahau the ginger, the lemon, and all those things we've been doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, family. Once again, it's always a pleasure, Firebrand Bomb. Just allow me. It's been a while. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Anytime.
I'd like to borrow from each of you, but the most I think is being a Christian, faith. Because if God, and I think I've said it a couple of times, if God was able to save the Israelites from Egypt, He knows this. I think this is quote unquote an Egypt situation, and God will come through. So if you're not a Christian, I'm not pushing God to you, but I believe God is a better solution in everything. So thank you so much for joining me, and until next Monday, love God and love others passionately. God bless.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you would like to join the Firebrand Nation movement, go to our website at www.firebrandnation.com, sign up and someone will get in touch with you. Also follow us on our social media handles at Firebrand Nation on Instagram and YouTube, and Firebrand and Firebrand Nation KE on Facebook. Remember to love God and love others passionately.